according to Secretary General of KUPPET, Akelo Misori.
Yes, we can also see that on page 7. Still on the same story, the government begs teachers to soften their stance. Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Migos urged KUPPET to reconsider its position. Unions' demands include the confirmation of 46,000 teachers, promotions, and also the medical cover and improvement. Yes, so KUPPET's demands, they include the confirmation of 46,000 teachers, promotions, and also medical cover, improvements, and also issues that Misori believes affect all teachers regardless of all their union affiliation.
And also they want the implementation of phase 2 of the 2021-2025 collective bargaining agreement. Yes, and you should know that the NAT called off their strike that was to begin today, and NAT said that the teachers' employer, that is TSC, showed willingness to address their concerns, and that is why they decided to call off the strike. And some of the demands that the TSC resolved include the implementation of the second phase of the 2021-2025 CBA, and also the remittance of third-party deduction, and also promotion of teachers. They say that the TSC have already promoted 51,232, and they are waiting for the TSC to promote 78,000 teachers, and they say that if the TSC fail to promote the 78,000 teachers, they are going to go to the street to protest and also to strike. And also the TSC has addressed the teachers' medical services. So the TSC have met 3 out of 5 demands of the NAT, or the teachers who belong to the NAT union. And also because of this, the CS expressed gratitude to NAT for calling off the strike and prioritizing the best interests of learners. Remember that if the KUPPET strike continues, 965,501 candidates are going to be affected, and also it will affect the preparations of their exams, and their exams are supposed or are expected to begin 9 weeks. So we are waiting to see if really the teachers are going to go back to school so that they can prepare the 965,501 candidates to sit for their KCSE exams.
Yes, still on the same story, high school teachers down tools as primary records low turnout. Yes, while NAT members reported to schools, KUPPET began all nationwide strikes. Schools reported low turnout due to uncertainty. Confusion marked yesterday's schools reopening for the 3rd term after teachers union gave conflicting calls on whether to proceed with the strike. Sharp divisions became evident between the officials of the Kenya National Union of Teachers, that is the NAT, and also the Kenya Post-Primary Education Teachers, that is KUPPET, with NAT members reported to schools. Their counterparts in the KUPPET began their strike to push for implementation of the 2021 to 2025 collective bargain agreement, that is the CBA. Yeah, so we've seen that the teachers are reporting, they're saying that the reports to school there was a low turnout, because even the parents were unsure. They were not sure if
there was
strike
uncertainty. Yes, and the Ministry of Education have already disbursed 21.8 billion as capitation to all basic education institutions. So the Ministry of Education has already disbursed 21.8 billion capitation to all basic education institutions. And also the Cabinet Treasury, the Cabinet Secretary of Treasury, that is John Badi, have spoken about the employment of 46,000 teachers to permanent and pensionable terms, and also the recruitment of 20,000 teachers. These are some of the demands of the NAT and also the KUPPET. And the Cabinet Secretary of Treasury have said that the government has no money to employ 46,000 teachers and
Teachers.
also 20,000 teachers that were supposed to be employed. So it's a matter of time. We're waiting to see if what I know is the talks will continue, if the COPET will bow down and decide to go back to their classes.
Yes. Still on the same education sector, we can see on page 8 of the Standard newspaper, student loan headache as president makes case for new funding model. Yeah, President Ruto painted old model as untenable and a time bomb that's killing varsities. Over 2,600 students want their classification of financial aid reviewed because they were placed in the wrong band. Remember that there are 5 divisions, there are 5 bands where they receive, the students are classified in 5 bands, and in each band they receive different amounts of money depending on their capability, the parents' capability. Yeah, a push by students to convince President William Ruto to revert to the old funding model or scrap off loans under the new funding model did not yield as they had anticipated. Instead, President Ruto made a strong case for the new model adopted in September 2024. At the same time, he dashed hopes for lower student loan interest, also pushed by some students. However, in what could be a reprieve to graduates, the president indicated that students should not have an obligation to pay back the student loan until they have secured employment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, and also the president said on Sunday evening that any student who have problems with the categorization of bands should appeal. Any students who have problems with the band should appeal, because many students or thousands of students have come out saying that they've been placed in wrong band. So any students who have complaints about the band should immediately appeal so that the issue may be sorted faster.
Yes, so we're just waiting to see, because we've seen even some students wanting their classification of financial aid to be reviewed. So we're just waiting to see if they are going to be reviewed.
Yeah. And going back to the teacher strike, the TSC has said that the teachers should go back to school even as talks continue, that the teachers should go back to school as talks continues. So the government has told striking teachers to seek alternative ways of solving their issues with the TSC without paralyzing learning in schools. We've said that if the strike continues, it's going to affect more than 951 students who are supposed to sit for their KCSE this year. Also, Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Migos yesterday said that learning should not be disrupted because of issues that have nothing to do with the ministry. Also, he said the ongoing strike by teachers affiliated to the COPET will not only affect learning in public schools, but it will also affect preparation for national examination that will be administered during that term. So the CS said the main demand of teachers' payment as stated in their collective bargaining agreement had been addressed, and the rest of the issues should be sorted out while learning. And while learning continues. And I just want to quote what Mr. Migosi, the Cabinet Secretary of Education, said in a quote: "Let me advise them that these are administrative issues. They need to sit down with the TSC to resolve the issues as teaching is going on." End of quote. Also, the Cabinet Secretary has lauded the NAT for calling off their strike on Sunday. And Mr. Migusi said to the TSC that he said that the TSC is working on some of the issues raised by the teachers union, including access to medical cover, career progression guidelines, and promotions of teachers. Also, we should know that 7,500 classroom to be built at a cost of 7.5 billion. Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Migosi said they are to be completed by December. So 7,500 classrooms are to be built at a cost of 7.5 billion shillings, and they are expected to be completed by December.
Yes, and also remember that the strike doesn't only affect the candidates, the students, and even the teachers themselves, but it also affects the parents, as they are still supposed to pay the school fees, even if the strike goes on even for months. This is something that the schools, they will be demanding for school fees.
Full school fees.
Exactly. Yeah, so our dear viewers, you can tell us what you think about the KUPPET strike. Do you think that the teachers, maybe they should come into an agreement with the government and just agree instead of going on strike? Yeah, is there a better way to deal with the issue without affecting the parents and also the students, the candidates which are expected to sit for the exams 9 weeks from now? And on to our top story, on the Standard cover page, you can see the man of the moment. Yeah, stab at AU post. President William Ruto is today expected to officially launch Raila Odinga's AUC bid at State House, with at least 4 African presidents expected to attend. This marks a significant milestone in the political life of Raila, as it cements his stature as an African statesman. You can find that story on page 4. And let me just quote what the president had to say. "We have an opportunity to produce the next AUC chairman, and we must work together, because it's not a position that belongs to a person, but our collective responsibility." End of quote. Yeah.
So we should know that President William Ruto will today unveil Raila as Kenya's candidate for the AUC position. So President William Ruto will today unveil Raila as Kenya's candidate for the AUC position.
Yes, Ruto to unveil Raila's campaign for Africa Top Job, that is the AUC chairman. Also Uganda's Yoweri Museveni and Tanzania's Samia Suluhu scheduled to attend to attend the same event today. Raila say he envisions a united Africa characterized by peace and prosperity. Yeah, today marks a significant juncture of African Union Commission chairperson, contender Raila Odinga, as President William Ruto formally unveils his candidature. Presidents from the East African region are expected to attend the launch at State House, Nairobi, this morning. Also, remember that we've said there is the Uganda president and also the Tanzania president, South Sudan president Salva Kiir, and also there is Hassan Sheikh Mohammed of Somalia, who is also expected, the Burundi Prime Minister also, who is expected, and also the Rwanda Foreign Affairs Minister Oliver, who is also expected to attend as well. And the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has been campaigning for Raila, the latest being rallying foreign affairs ministers from Africa Union member states to support Kenyans' bid. Yes, so we can see that Kenyans, including the president himself, they are going all out to campaign and also to help Mr. Raila Odinga for his bid for the AUC.
Yes, and I should know that former Prime Minister Raila Odinga and also Azimio leader is facing opposition from Djibouti, Mauritius, and Madagascar. But we hope that come February 25 is going to clinch the seat. And also let's look at some of the priorities and strategies that former Prime Minister Raila Odinga is going to focus on if he will be given a chance to be the AU chairman. So Raila says he intends to ensure economic transformation, also enhancing intra-Africa trade, financial independence, gender equity, and equality. So Raila said that he's going to focus on economic transformation and enhancing intra-Africa trade, financial independence, gender equity, and equality, and also agriculture transformation, climate action, integration, peace and security are also part of his 8-point agenda that he said he's going to focus on. And I just want to quote what he said in a statement, in a quote: "As a lifelong Pan-Africanist, will offer participatory leadership to ensure delivery on the priorities of the African peoples as envisioned in the African Union Agenda 2063, end of quote. He further states that he envisions a united Africa characterized by peace, prosperity and progress for all, and calls for Africa to harness its vast human and natural resources and integrate the energy of the youth with the vision and wisdom of its leaders. So the way we just said earlier that we are waiting, this is a big day for Raila, and we are waiting for President William Ruto to unveil his AUC candidature. So we are waiting to see how the event will be, and also leaders or presidents from East Africa. All East African presidents have been invited, so we are waiting, and they've confirmed attendance. They've said they are going to attend the event that will take place at State House.
Yes, I also want us to look at some of the countries that pledged and also promised to back Raila Odinga. We can see that there's Ghana. The president actually, he secured Ghana's support, which announced during the Kenya-Ghana joint media briefing in Accra a few months ago. Also in a statement holding talks with President Nana Akufo-Addo, Ruto said Kenya will in turn support Ghana's candidature for the Secretary General of the Commonwealth. Yes, so it's a two-way affair. Kenya will support Ghana when it comes to their candidature for the Secretary General of the Commonwealth, and Ghana is going to support Kenya for the AUC seat.
So they've pledged support.
Yes, both ways. And also we can see Raila's bid also received a boost after Algeria in June pledged to back him as well. The president, we can see the president has been campaigning and looking for support for the AUC chairman. So the president, who attended the 50th G7 summit in the Apulia, Italy, said he secured Algeria's support on the sideline meeting with Algeria President Abdel Majid Sanim. Yeah, we also have other countries who have declared Kenyan supporter: Paul Kagame from Rwanda, Yoweri Museveni from Uganda, and also Cyril Ramaphosa from South Africa.
Yeah, so we already have 19 head of states that have said they are going to vote
Kenya
for Raila Odinga. So we are waiting for other 15 head of state to support Raila Odinga so that he can have the position. Remember yesterday we said that they need 35 heads of state so that you can be declared a winner and hence be the chairman of AUC. So we are waiting. The Foreign Affairs Cabinet Secretary have said that they are going to lobby the other 15 heads of state so that they can ensure that Raila Odinga clinch this particular seat.
Yes. Also remember that for a country to win, okay, let me just read here. We are just going to learn a little bit about the AU, the African Union, and also the AUC seat itself. Out of the 55 African countries, insiders say 7 are ineligible to vote owing to issues ranging from governance to military coups. And also this means that 46 AU states are eligible, and so far Kenya has the support of about 25 of them. So that is like almost half. For a country to win, it requires at least 2/3 of the votes, which is 32 countries or 66%. Raila is the only Anglophone candidate in the race, while the rest are either Arabic or from francophone countries. Yes, and also other 8 countries are considered as highly likely to vote for the Kenyans, for Kenyans candidate, and also should all factors remain constant. So we're just waiting to see. That will round up to 33. Yeah, so if the data is correct and maybe 33 countries are going to support Kenya, that one means that we might win the actual seat. But also others who have declared, the AUC chairperson elections will be held in February next year, with 4 candidates seeking to succeed the incumbent.
And we're waiting to see really if especially the East African countries are going to vote for us. This time. Remember, I think 3 years ago, when we had Amina Mohamed as the candidate of AUC chairman, there were some claims that some of our neighbors, Tanzania, Uganda, did not vote for us. So this time we are really expecting our neighbors to vote for us.
But also remember that during the beginning of the year, we saw the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga going outside country looking for the votes. And also we saw him even going to Uganda, and there was something was cooking. We just knew something is cooking because there was a handshake there. So we are just waiting to see. And our dear viewers, you can also tell us, do you think that Kenya will actually win the AUC seat? Yes. Do you think that we have a high percentage of winning? What are our chances?
Yes, and also don't forget to tell us your name and where you're watching us from. Our social media handles are Faraza TV Kenya, that is on Facebook, YouTube Faraza TV Media, Instagram Faraza_TV_Kenya, TikTok Faraza.tv.media. Also, you can send us an SMS. Our SMS number is 0703339959. So moving on, Africa CDC wants over false Mpox results. So Africa CDC have won over false Mpox results. Also, Continental Health Body says diagnosis should not rely only on the laboratory test. The Continental Health Body have said that the diagnosis should not rely only on laboratory tests. So you can find that story on page 14 of the Daily Nation. So remember, we should be on high alert. Mpox is has been confirmed to be in the country. Also, you should know that Mpox was initially called the monkey pox virus, the monkeypox disease, and it's caused by the monkey pox virus. And the first case was found in Taita Taveta, and the person was from Kiambu County, but he's a truck driver and he had traveled from DRC Congo. So you should remember that DRC Congo is the epicenter of Mpox. So you should know that if you are coming from those areas, you should really take caution so that you cannot contact the disease. Also, we have been told that we should stay away from meat, especially from hunting, because you know this particular disease can also affect, or it can also come from animals.
It comes from animals.
So yeah, we should really be cautious. And there was a suspected case yesterday at Kakamega, and the health officials are investigating, and they said that the suspect exhibited symptoms that were similar to the Mpox disease. So the Kakamega County Director of Health Promotion Services, Tabitha Kiverenge, said the patient is under investigation, and the patient had traveled to the neighboring country, Uganda. And she explained that the patient also, the way I just said earlier, that he exhibited symptoms that are similar to that of Mpox disease. Also, the patient recorded 38 degrees Celsius of body body temperatures. He also had rashes and lesions on the body. And as we are speaking now, the suspect is in isolation and are receiving treatment. Also, we should know that a total of 426,438 people have been screened at various ports of entry across the country, with 43 samples submitted to laboratories for mpox testing since the outbreak of the endemic. And we see that the first case of the viral disease in Kenya was of a 42-year-old long-distance truck driver at the Taita Taveta border with Tanzania, which was reported on July 31st, 2024.
Yes, on to other stories. Uphill task for a town that shuts down at 9 p.m. to compete as city. Yes, and like other Kenyan cities, Eldoret is one city without traffic lights. Actually, I think in the whole world. This goes to break the record. Actually, Eldoret is one of the cities in the whole world that doesn't have any traffic lights.
Knowing that, it's competing with cities like the New York cities.
Yes, so we are just waiting to see. And also, it also has sewage challenges, especially when it rains. Yeah, mixed reactions have greeted the recent elevation of Eldoret to city status, as some residents claim what is deemed as progress spells doom for a majority of them. They claim they risk facing huge taxes associated with city elevation. The new city is also bustling with its towering skyscrapers standing as monuments of progress. Yeah, walking through the winding streets, one can easily feel the weight of more than a century of history, which culminated in elevation to a city 12 days ago. Yes, so we're just waiting to see, because Eldoret City, it's the youngest city now in Kenya.
So they should upgrade the city.
Yes, and also remember that there were a lot of people who contributed to the growth of Eldoret, and a lot of citizens in Eldoret City claim that Eldoret is Moi and Moi is Eldoret, because a lot of the buildings, a lot of the schools, the hospitals, Moi contributed to their construction as well. And also onto other stories, the Meru County citizens took to the streets of Meru County to protest against their governor, Kawira Mwangaza. Yeah, they wanted, they were shouting and also chanting, Kawira must go.
And I should remember that the senators uphold Kawira's impeachment last week, but I think we are waiting to see what the Court of Appeal are going to say about the issue, because they've said that the seat, that the senators should not declare the gubernatorial seat as vacant. So we are still waiting. To other news that is making headlines on the front page of the Daily Nation is about Eliud Lagat, who's the Deputy Inspector General. So from mechanic to police chief, Eliud Lagat's meteoric rise. So from mechanic to police chief. If you want to read about the story, you can find it on page 2 of the Daily Nation. Also, Mombasa Cement NSSF feud over 350 million shillings land. So you can get the story on page 10. Also, why Ruto Raila deal signal return. Pentagon President Ruto has signaled a possible coalition with ODM leader Raila Odinga ahead of the 2027 elections. You can find that story on page 8. And he said all this when he attended the homecoming of the Cabinet Secretary of Cooperative and SMEs, that is Wycliffe Oparanya, in Bungoma County. And also Ruto says that NYS recruits will be trained on handling firearms. So you should also know that 14,692 is the number of recruits who graduated from NYS yesterday. And also if you want to know about the health, racing against cervical cancer and healthy screening saved Pamela Siva's life. Now she champions for regular checkups and a wider HPV vaccine adoption, even as Kenya's progress in the jabs uptake is hampered by many obstacles. So you can find it on Healthy Nation. Also on the Powering SMEs, reimagining rural healthcare with cutting-edge technology.
Yes, our dear viewers, on that note, we are taking a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more.
Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha.
Well, what is lifestyle? To me, lifestyle is the people, it's entertainment, it's food, it's beauty, it's fashion, it's music, and it's art. So how do you get to deal with these big topics that are affecting our society? Well, worry no more, because I, Sharon Gige, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m, I'll be bringing you amazing guests, and they'll be able to give us solutions on how to handle these big and disturbing topics at Faraja TV Kenya and all our social media platforms. Thank you.
Yo, welcome guys to the biggest and most exciting show in the 254, where we bring you exciting topics, great music, your favorite artists, and good times.
Join us each and every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Faraja Mashup. It's your boy Big Man Kyuga.
And your boy Big Willie, aka the Big Kahuna.
Kwa majina ni John Mragori, ninaokuletea program ya uzima wa kiroho na nidhamu, na programu yetu ya kujia mnamo siku ya kila Jumapili saa 1:30 katika runinga yetu ya Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha. Karibu sana, karibu pamoja, tushirikiane katika uzima wa kiroho na nidhamu. Karibuni na mbarikiwe sana. God bless you. God see you through.
Welcome to the greatest sporting show in the 254. That is the Sports Blast show on Faraja TV, where we'll be bringing you all the discussion and all updates according to sports and sports events.
And of course, we look forward to engaging and interacting with you on our various platforms,
which are on Faraja TV Kenya at Facebook, Faraja TV Media at YouTube, and our SMS line 0703 339959, and our various competitions and events of the sporting sphere.
Remember to catch us live each and every Saturday afternoon from 4 to 5 p.m, whereby I'll be joined by 3 great co-hosts, your boy Big Man Kyuga,
and of course, Mickey Omchambuliv,
and Lefty Jizitisa Mgongoni.
One final lung-busting stride for Kipchoge.
So don't miss out on Sport Buzz.
Ujambo mpenzi mtazamaji, karibu ndani ya Fahamu Siasa na Wanasiasa. Hapa tutakuwa tunaangazia masuala ya katiba, uchumi na teknolojia. Vile vile utaweza kufahamu na kujua kazi ya mjumbe wako, seneta wako, MCA wako kila siku ya Jumatatu na Alhamisi kuanzia mida ya saa 3 hadi saa 5, ukiletewa nami Peter Muhoro. Usikose kutazama Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha.
Siku na mchana nakupa sifa, day and night Lord.
Indeed, tunakupa sifa, sifa zote ni kwako ewe Mungu. This is Nuru ya Injili Gospel Show, ambapo tutakuwa tunaletea amazing guests, amazing artists, inspired ministers of the word.
And we shall be having interesting conversations. It shall be hot, it shall be fire, it shall be rejuvenating right here at Nuru ya Injili.
Of course, hii si ya kukosa. Kutakuwa na mixes kali, new song, new bangers, na hii mtazamaji wetu utapenda. Kutakuwa na a lot of fun yenyewe mwenyewe huwezi miss.
I will be your host, Jack Favor.
And I, your co-host, Caroline Jerry. Alongside DJ Tish.
Every Sunday.
From 6 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Nuru ya Injili, only at Faraja TV.
What's happening?
It's showtime!
Oh, okay, let's go. This is
Gospel Link Up.
kuanzia saa 4 mpaka saa 7 kila Jumapili at Faraja TV with me, the Ramses, alongside
DJ XDs.
Alright, hii ni kosa kukosa wewe.
Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha. Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha.
Well, what is lifestyle? To me, lifestyle is the people, it's entertainment, it's food, it's beauty, it's fashion, it's music, and it's arts. So how do you get to deal with these big topics that are affecting our society? Well, worry no more, because I, Sharon Gige, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m., I'll be bringing you amazing guests, and they'll be able to give us solutions on how to handle these big and disturbing topics at Faraja TV Kenya and all our social media platforms. Thank you.
Welcome back, our dear viewers, and welcome to Morning Updates. Yeah, remember you can continue interacting with us on our social media handles, on Facebook, Faraja TV Kenya, YouTube Faraja TV Media, TikTok Faraja.tv.media, Instagram Faraja_TV_ Kenya, and our SMS line is on the screen.
Yeah, also don't forget to tell us your name and where you're watching us from. And as you know, today is Tuesday, Food Tuesday, and we are going to talk about food hygiene or food safety. So food hygiene or food safety is used as a scientific method or discipline describing handling, preparation and storage of food in ways that prevent foodborne illness. So food safety or food hygiene is about handling, preparation and storage of food in ways that prevent foodborne illnesses. So that is
food
hygiene or food safety.
Yes. So how you handle your food, there's always a way where certain kinds of foods are supposed to be prepared, certain kinds of food are supposed to be handled, even maybe even on the farm. Like let's go back from where they are coming from the farm themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a way maybe you're supposed to harvest certain things or maybe certain foods. If you don't do it the proper way, they're not going to be well. Okay.
Yes, and today we'll be focusing especially on street food because remember 2 weeks ago the Nairobi Chief Secretary, Chief of Environment said that the way people are handling or even preparing food is something that caught his attention. Remember he visited street kitchens and it was in a I'm looking even for a word.
Yeah, they were in just bad state.
Yeah. Yes, and that is why today we just want to focus on the way food is being prepared or the way food is being handled, and also the storage of food, because you know some of the vendors, strollers are being placed in public toilets, so you can imagine something like that.
Yes, so that is something that also caught the health officer's eyes, because remember that food, wherever, even the items, the utensils, the stalls, the everything that they use to cook and everything, even the place where they store the food, if it's stored in an unhealthy, unhygienic place, it means it will affect the people who eat it. Because we've had cases where even people buy food in supermarkets and maybe it has expired, and then you get cases like food poisoning.
Yeah, so you should know that this particular topic is very crucial because it affects our health. And also this includes a number of routines that should be followed to avoid potential health hazards. In this way, food safety often overlaps with food defense to prevent harm to consumers. Also, the tracks within the lines of thought are safety between industry and the market, and then between the market and the consumer. Because we've also talked about food from the farm, where the food are being produced. So we should take this seriously, because we've talked about issues about food poisoning. Many people have been complaining of food poisoning. You've gone to the doctor and that they've diagnosed you to be having food poisoning. So we should really be cautious when buying food, especially on the streets. So how is the food handled? Is the hands of the vendor clean? You know, is the water
they're using to clean the tomatoes?
And I know that Kenyans are lovers of street food. When you talk about smokies, pasua, smochas, what else? Mutura, kebab, and all that. And also inaitwa mayai boilo. And that is why we should be really cautious when eating street food, so that you can prevent food poisoning.
Yes. And I think this is something that I feel like when it comes to food hygiene and everything, this is something that a lot of Kenyans just ignore. You know, sometimes we usually say that like a joke, you know, the mutura, the bezi ya mutura, time kuna giza, where it's dark, it looks funny, it looks, it's not clean. It looks fishy. That is where maybe you are going to buy the best mutura. That is where you can get the best mutura. But actually it means you are just eating food that is not healthy, that is not hygienic, that is not clean as well. Yeah, and remember they always say garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah. So we have a categorization of food. So let's look at perishable food. So perishable food are food items that have a short storage life and will become spoiled or contaminated if not preserved and handled properly. So some of the perishable food that we have are meat, eggs, milk, fruits, vegetables, and the like. And most of the time you'll hear people say they've eaten meat or milk that he's spoiled. So once, especially if you're a business person and you realize that some of your items, your food items have expired or are spoiled, you should throw them away. You should not sell it to the public, because if you do that, it means that these people are going to have issues, you know, with their health. They are going to have food poisoning and all that. So we have perishable food. So we should really pay attention, especially to this kind of food, because they spoiled or they contaminate very faster compared to other food that are non-perishable.
And I think even when it comes to animal products, like the meat itself, meat is very delicate. You know that when meat is contaminated or anything, if anything happens to the meat, it can spread a lot of sicknesses. Because we've seen even the Mpox, which has been declared a public health emergency. This is something that has originated from bush meat, from meat from like some wild places. Yeah, so it means even remember the coronavirus as well. It came from meat, from people eating the wrong kind of meat. Yeah, so I think when it comes to meat, even the butcheries and everything, we should just ensure that we are selling the right kind of meat to the people, and also the meat is also certified as well, and it's clean. It's not something that is spoiled.
Yeah, and also we should ensure that the meat or any kind of food is well cooked, so that at least it can kill the bacteria that it may be on the meat. So another category, we have the non-perishable food. These are foods which are not easily spoiled or contaminated, and they have given examples of sugar and cereals. So you will find that, you know, this kind of food like sugar,
they
cereals,
don't easily spoil.
they take a lot of time, maybe even 2 years, 3 years.
It's true. Manufactured products, especially when it comes to these things that look like snacks, even crisps, things like those ones, popcorns, you won't find them that they are spoiling. Yeah, they will stay for a long time. Biscuits, cookies,
but
like
also we should look at the expiry date. So we should not just, you know, dispute the fact that they are non-perishable food. We should also be conscious, because once they are expired or spoiled or contaminated, and then we consume, even if they are non-perishable food, we may also have problems with our health. So we should be on a lookout on whatever we eat or whatever we consume. So we have another category that is called the wholesome food. These are food which is sound, clean and free from harmful ingredients. It is suitable for human consumption. So these are food which is sound, clean and free. And we have another category that is a food hazard, a food that is contaminated with biological, chemical or physical agents, and if eaten will cause ill health. So especially when we are, and I think we are now going back to where it all started, from the farm. And I think this is where chemicals comes in.
Herbicides, pesticides. And I think that is what they call chemical contamination, because this is where maybe the food has mixed with some chemicals. And when it comes especially to even GMOs and everything, greenhouse products and everything, we should always make sure, even if they are fresh fruits and everything, you should wash them and ensure that they are clean, super clean before you even consume them.
Yeah, so we should know, or we should be aware of the chemical or physical agents. So when eating or when consuming these products, we should be aware of the food hazards. So that is another category of food. So, but the most common ones are the perishable food that we've talked about, meat, eggs, milk, fruits, vegetables, and the like. These are the foods that really spoiled or can contaminate very fast, and especially if they are not preserved or handled properly. And also we've talked about the non-perishable food, and we've said these are foods like sugar and also cereals. But again, we should check on the expiry dates, because even if it takes time, it surely expires. And when it expires, and then when we consume the food that is contaminated, it's going to affect our health.
Yes, and I want us to look at contamination. What is food contamination? Because we've been mentioning it and we've been saying it, maybe our viewers, you don't know. So food contamination happens when foods are corrupted with another substance. So this means a contaminant is something that is from outside. It's an introduction of something that was not there originally there in the product. So food contamination happens when the food is corrupted by another substance. And it can happen in the process of production, either transportation, during packaging, storage, or sales, or even the cooking process itself. Contamination can be physical, it can be chemical, or even biological. So physical contamination or foreign bodies, these are objects such as hair, plant stalks, or even pieces of plastic and metals. Physical contamination is where a physical thing is introduced. A physical poisonous thing is introduced, or even something that is not healthy to the food, like even hair. That is why we advise, if you are cooking, you're dealing with food, you are in the kitchen, you should cover your head. Especially Kenyan ladies, we don't. I don't think we do that.
And especially we've seen chefs covering their head, and it's one of the requirements for them before entering the kitchen. So thank you for that. We now know what food contamination is, and food is very important. It's something that
we cannot do life without.
It's part of us. When we talk about human beings, we also talk about food, and for us to continue living, we need food each and every day. And when we talk about food, we are not only talking about food that we can actually eat, but we are also talking about drinks. So it includes milk, you know, porridge, juice and all that. So it consists, when you talk about food, you should know that it also consists of drinks, and that is why we've said that food safety and food hygiene, it's very important. And also another thing that you should know is that food hygiene is a set of food manufacturing practices that aim to minimize biological food hazards. And we've talked about hazards being, you know, chemicals from herbicides and all that, through safe and clean operations to protect public health from foodborne disease. And somebody said that, you know, you can kill the whole nation or even the whole village. Let's start from there with, you know, using food.
It's true, even how you even prepare, because we've seen food contamination happens sometimes when transporting, when producing the goods. Let's talk about even when cooking, preparing the food, because sometimes you might find the food was okay and everything, but you put maybe some expired spices, some maybe bad spices, which caused food poisoning for the whole family. And even some families have even died from eating poisonous food without even knowing it.
So it that is that serious. And also one of the most important food hygiene practices, and we will also talk about hygiene practices, is proper hand washing. And according to this article, it says that operation, hand washing or proper hand washing. And when we talk about hand washing, we're talking about washing the hands with soap and running water, not just water, not stagnant water, but running water. So this operation reduces the risk of foodborne illness by 50%. So it reduces illness, disease, foodborne illness by 50%. So it's that important, proper hand washing. And especially now that we have Mpox, the Ministry of Health have told us that we should practice a proper hand washing. And also sanitizing every now and
it's
then.
It's like even the COVID-19, the precautions and everything, keeping social distance, not greeting, not coming into physical contact with others. And the way you've mentioned hand washing, I want us to go back to street food. Because our street food vendors, we don't even see them washing their hands.
They don't.
And even sometimes when you see them washing their hands, you see them washing their hands in the same water that they are going to wash the tomatoes or the kachumbari. And maybe even the water itself, it's not even clean. And then you're like, no, nipatie ile kubwa.
So you're just focused on the food. You're not even looking at the hands of the person or the vendor.
Because even remember some of the salads, the kachumbaris, they involve people even mixing it with hands, with their own hands. So sometimes you don't even know. I think, hey, God has had mercy on us because the things we've eaten.
I also remember that contaminated hands encourage the spread of illnesses most effectively, and that is why we've continued stressing on the proper hand washing. How do you handle food before now the food gets into your mouth? You contaminate the food first by how you handle the food. So you may find that the food is at a good state. Maybe you've properly cooked the food, but you've handled the food with dirty hands, and that will contaminate the food, and you will have problems with your health. And because of that, we are taking a short break, but when we come back, we are going to look at the practices or what we should do so that we can have or we can attain food hygiene. So don't go anywhere, keep it Faraja TV.
Faraja TV, Chemichemi ya Furaha.
Well, what is lifestyle? To me, lifestyle is the people, it's entertainment, it's food, it's beauty, it's fashion, it's music, and it's arts. So how do you get to deal with these big topics that are affecting our society? Well, worry no more, because I, Sharon Gige, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m, I'll be bringing you amazing guests, and they'll be able to give us solutions on how to handle these big and disturbing topics at Faraja TV Kenya and all our social media platforms. Thank you.
Yo, welcome guys to the biggest and most exciting show in the 254, where we bring you exciting topics, great music, your favorite artists, and good times.
Join us each and every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Faraja Mashup. It's your boy Big Man Kyuga.
And your boy Big Willie, aka the Big Kahuna.
Kwa majina ni John Mragori, ninaokuletea program ya uzima wa kiroho na nidhamu, na programu yetu ya kujia mnamo siku ya kila Jumapili saa 1:30 katika runinga yetu ya Faraja TV, Chemichemi ya Furaha. Karibu sana, karibu pamoja, tushirikiane katika uzima wa kiroho na nidhamu. Karibuni na mbarikiwe sana. God bless you. God see you through.
Welcome to the greatest sporting show in the 254. That is the Sports Plus show on Faraja TV, where we'll be bringing you all the discussion and all updates according to sports and sports events.
And of course, we look forward to engaging and interacting with you on our various platforms,
which are on Faraja TV Kenya at Facebook, Faraja TV Media at YouTube, and our SMS line 0703 339959, and our various competitions and events of the sporting sphere.
Remember to catch us live each and every Saturday afternoon from 4 to 5 p.m. whereby I'll be joined by 3 great co-hosts, your boy Big Man Kyuga,
and of course, Mickey Omchambulis,
and Lefty Jizitisa Mgongoni.
One final lung-busting stride for Kipchoge.
Welcome back, our dear viewers. Remember, you're watching Morning Updates. Yes, and you can continue interacting with us on our social media handles. On Facebook, you can catch us Faraja TV Kenya, TikTok, faraja.tv.media, Instagram, Faraja_TV_Kenya, and also YouTube, Faraja TV Media. Keep the conversation going. Our SMS line is also on the screen. You can text us, tell us what you think. Yeah, remember we were talking about
food hygiene. And also don't forget to tell us your name and where you're watching us from. And we've been talking about food hygiene and food safety. And we see that food hygiene involves the way you handle, the way you prepare, and the way you store food. And also we've talked about the importance of food hygiene, because if food is not handled properly, the food is going to be contaminated, and hence is going to cause health problems in our bodies. So we should really be cautious of everything we consume, or everything that we put on our mouth. And some of the practices that we are going to look at, or how do you handle food, how do you store your food, how do you prepare your food, so that you can prevent food poisoning. So one of them is choose foods that are not easily damaged by transportation, accidents, or by storage. So you should choose food that are not easily damaged by transportation, accidents, or by storage.
Also remember that when it comes to food hygiene, a lot of things, from the making of the food, from the production of the food, how you handle the food until you even eat it, and even after eating the remaining part of the food, how you store it is what matters. So as she has said, we should always look for foods that are not easily damaged by transportation. You know, there are those foods where sometimes even they are delicate. Things like ripe bananas, even when you transport them and maybe you've put cabbages on top of them, you will find zimemondeka. Tomatoes as well. The same thing happens.
Or even tomatoes.
Yeah, these are things that spoil easily. Yeah, so you should make sure, even sometimes if you are going for long distance, you might prefer to go with unripe.
Yeah, and
tomatoes.
also about storage. How do you store your food or especially vegetables at home? Because you will find that you have tomatoes. One of the tomatoes or potatoes especially. You've heard about kiazi kimoja kikioza. It will affect all the potatoes or tomatoes. So you should check your tomatoes or potatoes regularly. And once you've identified one potato that has spoiled, it's good when you throw it away so that it will not spoil or contaminate the others. So you should be very cautious on how you transport your food. And another principle or another preparation is about cooking food thoroughly, especially meat. And we've talked about mpox that is on high alert this season. And we've said that you can get mpox from eating food that has been contaminated. And we said that mpox that was initially called monkeypox is caused by monkeypox virus. And also monkeypox can affect animals. So we should cook food thoroughly. Yeah. So don't just rush when you're cooking and eat. So you should make sure that your food is well cooked, especially, and they've given an example of meat. So make sure that your meat is well cooked so that you can prevent these microorganisms.
Yeah, and I also want to say, when it comes to meat, especially in African countries, we haven't embraced eating raw meat like a lot. Maybe some different cultures, maybe some of the few tribes and cultures like the Maasais, that is where they eat raw meat. But abroad and in other countries, Korea, we've seen, even in America, people do medium rare. It's like the meat is not completely cooked. It's just a little bit cooked. Others, they do it well done. It's like you completely cook it, especially here in Kenya, we do it well done.
Well done.
Yeah, because you can imagine unaenda alafu you are serving somebody meat that is a bit red. When they bite it, it's red inside. They're like, hey, unanipea nyama mbichi. Yeah, and I think it's also, it's because of the hygiene itself. Because countries like Korea, where they eat raw fish, raw meat, the meat has been preserved. It has been kept well. It doesn't have any kind of germs, so even as they are eating it, it doesn't affect them. That is why they don't get easily sick and everything.
And we've talked about eating food that are well cooked, because these microorganisms or bacteria are killed when these foods are cooked on high temperatures. So the high temperatures help to get rid of the microorganism. So that is why we should really cook
even our milk and everything, because even milk, when you boil it completely, it kills all the germs. So it means the milk is safe for you to drink.
Yes, and another way is eat cooked foods immediately after they are cooked. So eat cooked food immediately after they are cooked, rather than leave them out and eat later. Delays in eating cooked food can lead to the growth and reproduction of microorganisms in the cooked food stuff.
And even now that we've spoken about already cooked food, it also comes down to, even after the food has remained, maybe you made a lot of food and it's still there, there's a way to store it so that it cannot spoil. Because also still under high temperatures, the food might easily spoil. And like maybe putting it in a refrigerator.
So we should be really careful. We should eat cooked foods immediately. So another one is if food must be reheated, maybe if you decided that you wanted to eat your food later. So if food is reheated, ensure to reheat to reheat it thoroughly.
Yeah. Yeah, so don't take cold food, in short. Yeah, because even cold food also, it's not healthy as well.
So there's another one that we've talked about is washing hands properly before handling food and before eating. So we said before we went for the break that you should wash your hands with soap or detergent and also with running water, not just water, not stagnant water, but running water, so that you can get rid of the germs that you may have on your hands.
Yeah, and I also think when it comes to even washing, it doesn't apply only to the hands. Also make sure you wash the utensils well. And ensure that your utensils are kept well. They are in a clean place as well. You've also cleaned the place where you are using the table, where you're using to cook and everything.
Yeah, so you should keep all the kitchen surfaces clean. Yeah, because that is where you clean. That is where you prepare your food. So it goes hand in hand. So another thing is protect food from animals, including insects, rodents, and other animals. Yeah. So you should really protect your food from animals, including insects. Yes, and another way to have food hygiene is by using safe water in food preparation and for washing fruits and vegetables to be eaten raw.
Yeah, especially this comes, in Kenya we are used to going to the kibanda, mama mboga, we are cutting the spinach for you, especially the spinach. I don't usually trust the people washing the spinach. Yeah, because the spinach collects a lot of mud and a lot of soil. And then you find that maybe the mama mboga is washing from just one place, and that is where she's going to wash all her sukuma wiki, all her spinach, everything, and the water is black. You can even see the water is black.
Yeah, so you're supposed to wash the vegetables again with running water, not stagnant water, so that you can get rid of the germs. So when preparing food, you should ensure that, especially vegetables and it includes even fruits, that you should really wash them many times to ensure that you don't eat food that is contaminated.
Yes, and I think also when it comes to vegetables, especially the ones that we are cooking, even after washing them, you should ensure they are well cooked. Because when you cook them properly, it means all the germs have been killed. Yeah, and I think they're insisting on the washing of the vegetables, because a lot of vegetables you're not supposed to cook them for a long time. So it means the germs might still be alive. Things like maybe sukuma wiki, cabbages, these are things that you just steam. Yeah,
and let's talk about food hazards. We said that food hazards include food that have been contaminated with chemicals, and that is, pesticides, herbicides and all that. So how do you prevent these food hazards? So arising than it is, so simply monitor food at the point of sale or consumption. We are told that it is very important to assess tool used in the food industry in the hazard analysis critical control point system. Also, you should know about the time limit. You should not just spray your food and then after one day you harvest your food and then you sell it to the public. So you should ensure that you get rid of the pesticide and also the chemicals that you used maybe to spread your food before selling them or before consuming.
Yeah, and I also think this one also applies to even the washing, because a lot of vegetables and fruits, these are where we see pesticides and herbicides being used. And also, our dear viewers, remember that when it comes to food hygiene, before even going to eat to a place, you should ensure, or even if you are running a business and it's a food business, ensure that the food standards and the hygiene standards that are maybe set for that country and that place are met. Yeah, you should follow the rules. If you're supposed to have maybe license and everything, you should ensure you have them and the place is clean as well, because remember, you are dealing with human beings. Yeah, people are delicate as well, and food is delicate.
Yeah, because I know, especially here in Kenya, before you're given a license, you have health doctors,
who have to supervise
who
and
come
check.
to inspect your business. Where do you prepare your food? How do you handle your food? How do you serve your customers? So they come to inspect first before issuing you with the license. So again, we should not do things
anyhow. We should be mindful of the law. Yes, and our dear viewers, on that note, we are going home, but remember, we'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Remember, this is morning updates. You can catch us every Monday to Friday and continue with the conversation on our social media handles. It's goodbye for now.
Thank you for joining us. Have a lovely day.
Faraja TV, Chemichemi ya Furaha.
Well, what is lifestyle? To me, lifestyle is the people, it's entertainment, it's food, it's beauty, it's fashion, it's music, and it's art. So how do you get to deal with these big topics that are affecting our society? Well, worry no more, because I, Sharon Gige, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m, I'll be bringing you amazing guests, and they'll be able to give us solutions on how to handle these big and disturbing topics at Faraja TV Kenya and all our social media platforms. Thank you.
Yo, welcome guys to the biggest and most exciting show in the 254, where we bring you exciting topics, great music, your favorite artists, and good times.
Join us each and every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Faraja Mashup. It's your boy Big Man Kuga.
And your boy Big Willie, aka the Big Kahuna.
Kwa majina ni John Mragori, ninaokuletea program ya uzima wa kiroho na nidhamu, na programu yetu ya kujia mnamo siku ya kila Jumapili saa 1:30 katika runinga yetu ya Faraja TV, Chemichemi ya Furaha. Karibu sana, karibu pamoja, tushirikiane katika uzima wa kiroho na nidhamu. Karibuni na mbarikiwe sana. God bless you. God see you.
Welcome to the greatest sporting show in the 254. That is the Sports Blast show on Faraja TV, where we'll be bringing you all the discussion and all updates according to sports and sports events.
And of course, we look forward to engaging and interacting with you on our various platforms,
which are on Faraja TV Kenya at Facebook, Faraja TV Media at YouTube, and our SMS line 0703 339959, and our various competitions and events of the sporting sphere.
Remember to catch us live each and every Saturday afternoon from 4 to 5 p.m, whereby I'll be joined by 3 great co-hosts, your boy Big Man Kuga,
and of course, Mickey Omchambuliv,
and Lefty Jizitisa Mgongoni.
One final lung-busting stride for Kip.